Hello guys, how you doing today? Alright, it's a beautiful morning. I think it's the 8th of July, is it? I believe it's the 8th. Oh, Daddy Blackbird just flew down then. It's lovely and warm. The water's flowing in our little stream that we made that Adam, our good friend, helped us with. I wanted to go over a small dynamic that happens with this kind of water feature. You can see me filling in the water at the bottom there, and that's because there's a massive sump underneath those stones. If you stood in it, it would be up past your waist. There's a lot of water underneath those stones, and the water, it's all hidden by the stones, so it just looks like it's a stream going into a water feature, like a natural rocky feature. The water gets then, well, the pump is there, the pump pumps the water underground, up a tube, and then it comes out there. Now, the real reason for this video is just to make people aware of a rather interesting effect that happens if you're thinking of doing a water feature like this. When you set it up and you first get the water flowing and you put loads of water in the sump and you make sure there's water in the pipe by just filling up until it's nice and deep here. You might think that that's it then for a good few months, and then you come back literally maybe the same day, maybe 6 or 7 hours later, and the water is down, the pump isn't pumping anymore and it's gone into automatic switch off. There's no water coming out of the top part of your waterfall, and you're thinking, oh no, the obvious thing that you think at that point is, I must have a leak because all the water's gone. Where's it gone? So you fill it up again, 6 or 7 hours, and you find that there's no water in the system, the pump switch is off, and you just think there's so much water under those stones. It has to be a leak, and so you could run the risk of pulling everything up and starting again, and it would happen again, and I'll tell you why. You're losing water. More often than not, if you're using a really thick pond liner like we have, I mean it's really thick, it's unlikely there's a puncture. I mean it's possible, but more often than not with this sort of feature where there's a lot of movement and there's a lot of water, rather than just a pond that's like circular and deep, what can happen is, especially when you've got water going over stones, like if I just zoom in there, and lots of surfaces. Now, I don't know the technical term, but it's something like the mean quasi-differential. That's not right, but I will put it up on the screen now. And it's how you work out evaporation and your evaporation point of your flowing water, and you would be surprised how much water you actually lose with this kind of setup where water's going over rocks and down a stepped formation like that one there. You literally, I worked it out, I looked up the maths, I looked into it, roughly worked out the volume of the water, and we are losing about 4 pints an hour through simple evaporation, and that's when the temperature is not cold, not boiling hot, just where you think, oh, it's just right. So on a hot day you lose even more water than that per hour, and it's all to do with how the water gets excited as it goes down the waterfall. All the molecules of water bang together. If the water's moving fast, that's not such a problem. It's more to do with the amount of surface area it goes over. So you can see how we've separated the stones there. So the water's faster coming down the steps. That's actually better than having stones all the way down the run, because there's more surface area and there's more excitement of the water molecules, and that causes evaporation, a lot of evaporation. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you've done one of these water features and it seems like you're losing water, work out how much water you need per day when the temperature is moderate to warm. You will be absolutely surprised. Just to put it into perspective, I filled this water feature up yesterday at about 12 o'clock, and it was bursting its banks. It was flowing back down by the pump, so there was, and it's just about doing that again now. So there's a lot of water in there, and you'd think you'd be okay, but if I come back at about 8 o'clock tonight, I guarantee I'll need to fill it up again. So I just wanted to make people aware of that, so that you don't cause yourself a lot of hassle by reworking your whole system, thinking that you've got a leak when it's simple evaporation that's happening. But it's worth it. We think it's worth it. I don't mind having to top this up once a day in the summer. I'll switch this off now, and then you'll just hear the nice trickle of the water coming from the top, and you get this really nice idea that the water's coming out of the hillside there in our woodland garden, flowing down the stream and going under the rocks and going on its way. Your mind doesn't stop to think that it's being pumped back up to the top. It's a good illusion, and it's well worth doing. But yes, bear in mind the evaporation point is very low, which means that you lose a lot of water very fast, and you have to just keep topping it up every day, and that's just part of having one of these features. Okay, I'm going to go silent now and just hold the camera close to the water. I'm going to switch off the pipe and just enjoy this water feature. And thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you really soon. Bye for now. Bye bye. Bye bye.